It's about to get real weird for the next 20 years. We got big changes, major transformations, technology advances, internet and social media debacles, basically. There is revolutionary possibilities and all kinds of stuff. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned. I'm about to dive into Pluto. Jasmine, the owner and founder of House of Chiron Astrology and Reiki, and I am here to make the language of astrology digestible for all. So if you are new to my channel, hello and glad to meet you. And while we are doing all the pleasantries and whatnot, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will not miss any of my astro updates, my Reiki insight, or any of the events that I may let you all know about on this platform, okay? But if you are returning, hey friends, how are you? I hope everyone has been well. I've been good for the most part. March has been marching, you know. Okay, so with that being said, this video is going to dive into the Pluto and Aquarius vibes that we are freshly embarking on. If you are watching this, that means that we are already underway of Pluto in Aquarius. It has just entered in Aquarius. So we are in for a 20-year transit, okay? So Pluto is going to be in Aquarius starting March 23rd, 2023 until about March 8th of 2043. But then there's going to be another transit of it going into Aquarius in the early parts of 2044. So roughly about 20 to 21 years. But if you count all the retrogrades back and forth between Capricorn and then into Pisces and all that good stuff, yeah, it's about 20 years. So anywho, with that being said, the last time Pluto entered into Aquarius, it was during the 18th century. So what was life like back then? We don't know because it's once in a lifetime type of transit. Okay, so while we are going into Pluto, let's do a Pluto breakdown to talk about what this means, what is Pluto all about, and all that good stuff. So Pluto takes about 20 years to transit each sign. Okay, now this is why it takes it roughly 240 years to orbit all 12 signs, give or take, okay? So it's been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008. And like I said, Pluto brings transformation. It brings changes and upheaval and all kinds of stuff. And so if you think about what happened during 2008, the recession, the bank crash fiasco, all of that, okay? So I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen now. I'm just saying history repeats itself, okay? But anywho, Pluto exposes toxicity. It exposes corruption. It rules corruption and power dynamics and control issues. And so Pluto also represents power, psychology, power struggles, secrets, transformations, and it creates this kind of like crumbling effect on things, right? It brings it down. Whatever isn't working, whatever needs to be changed and transformed, it's going to crumble it down, okay? It's like the tower moment. If you're into tarot, it's like that tower moment, okay? So also, Pluto is about massive changes and rebirths after something has died, right? So something new is born thereafter, right? It rules destruction. So sometimes it destroys things so it can be born, right? It rules death. It rules the rebirth. It rules transformations, secrets, nefarious acts, revolutionary upheavals. Keep that one in mind, okay? It's also the psychology of a being, right? So therefore, it rules manipulation, menace, and vindictiveness, okay? Pluto also rules nuclear and atomic scientists, just to throw that out there, a little fun fact. And additionally, it rules magic and all things psychic, divination, spiritualism, spirituality, okay? So that's on the side of what Pluto is. Now, Pluto is like the person, right? But Aquarius is the person's personality, okay? So the personality of what this person or this entity is going to be acquiring is that Aquarius energy. So let's break down Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Okay. So the Aquarius breakdown. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, right? And that represents something that is stable and steady, but air signs is all about social dynamics, intellect, and communication. So when you get a fixed air energy, you get a structure of those social dynamics, of the communication, of the intellect. So it gets fixed, right? Aquarius is co-ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So Saturn gives it that structure aspect that I'm speaking about, but Uranus gives it that innovative genius quality, okay? And so with Aquarius, it rules things like technology and innovation, humanitarianism, philanthropy, large organizations, nonprofits. It also rules astrology and astrologers, says a Taurus ascendant who has a Aquarius in her 10th house. Just saying. Anywho, it rules psychotherapy, says a Taurus rising who has Aquarius in her 10th house, who's currently in school for her master's of social work to become a therapist. But anywho, yeah. So also, it rules spiritual occurrences and spirituality. Ironically, it also rules congressmen, considering that we just had the TikTok ban that's going on the day that Pluto ingresses into Aquarius, right? So that they're meeting with Congress and they're doing whatever they're doing on this day. And I'm just like, look, we'll just create another platform. It is what it is. So anyway, either way, it's no coincidence, okay? So with that being said, let's move on into some transit dates, okay? So with this energy, right now, what we're experiencing is like this preview of what's to come for the next 20 years. So Pluto's going to be transiting through Aquarius for a short moment, for about a good 2 months or so. So March 23rd, 2023 until June 11th of 2023, which happens to be my birthday. It'll be in the sign of Aquarius, and it's retrograding back through Capricorn. So from June 11th until January 20th of 2024, it'll be in Capricorn. Then it moves forward into Aquarius again from, then September 1st, 2024 until November 19th of 2024, it'll be in Capricorn again. And then it'll move back into Aquarius. Well, it will remain until about 2044. So that 20-year situation. Okay. Now it's doing a lot of moving back and forth, similar to how, it does, once it initially goes into a new sign, it kind of does that thing because, we have retrogrades. Most planets do this, especially like Saturn, like the larger outer planets. So we're going to see some things kind of like needing the loose ends to be wrapped up from Pluto being in Capricorn. And so kind of revisiting certain themes and getting things restructured, and other things needing to crumble in order to kind of move forward. We got to let certain things go. Other things are going to have to die. And that's kind of the theme with the retrogrades with Pluto. Okay. So getting into some historical facts about what's going on, and kind of gives us a basis of what's to come, what's like potential in our 20-year future. So the dates for Pluto in Aquarius, I was doing some research and I found a few things. Okay, so first and foremost, the last time that it was in Aquarius was 1778 until 1798. If you can hear that, it's because I'm having renovations done on my home right now. So excuse that, okay? So anywho, the last time it was 1778 to 1798, okay? And so that was a 20-year transit. And then before that was 1532 to 1553, another 20-year transit, okay? So we're going to talk about the most recent one, 225 years ago, 1778 to 1798. We have October 17th, 1781, the American War of Independence, right? So that ended when the British Army surrendered on that day. Okay, so then 1775 to 1783, we had the American Revolution. And then September 3rd of 1783, we had the Treaty of Paris that was signed. And then 1780 to about 1799, we had the French Revolution. And then moving forward, we also had April 30th of 1789, the United States did the swearing in of its first president, George Washington, that happened in New York. Okay, so Then we have 1773 to 1840 is the Industrial Revolution. That is when machines came in to replace the worker, right? So more so about organized labor. And then we have 1791 to 1804, it's the Haitian Revolution. And then 1792, the New York Stock Exchange was founded. Okay. So these are some things to kind of go off, as well as like to kind of see like the basis or the foundation of what we can kind of expect to happen, right? Transformation and social movement. So we have revolutions, right? And then we have technology advancements, medical and scientific advancements as well. We might be introduced to different currencies or a different currency that's more globally accepted. That could happen also. Now, keep in mind that at the time that the Declaration of Independence was signed, right? So that's when Pluto was in Capricorn. We had our Pluto return just this previous year, okay? And so right after Pluto in Capricorn, it moved into Aquarius shortly after, back in, 1778 or 1778. So that was like the foundation, the wrapping up of the end of something. So a new beginning kind of happened. So when we had our Pluto return just this previous year, it was giving us that notion that there's going to be a new change to the collective, so to speak, here, especially in the United States. So that's that. Now, on a more, broader world view of things, we have the Haitian Revolution that happened back then. We have, in here, in the U.S., the New York Stock Exchange was founded. So all of these different things, they happen in different places and whatnot. But either way, we can see that there's going to be global change. We can see that the collective is going to be, affected in some kind of way. Now, there's so many things that's going around about this energy, right? So it's talking about, the big black exit, right? So highly possible where they're saying that African Americans are going to be exiting and leaving the United States, or, this is the age of Aquarius and all that kind of stuff. And, to each his own. Everyone has their own theory and their own idea about it, and I have mine as well. So I do feel more so that there's going to be revolutionary acts that are happening, but more so for me, I feel like Pluto is going to be revealing manipulative things when it comes to the social movements, social I guess constructs, so to speak. So people who've been using or organizations that have been using humanitarianism or philanthropy or, social dynamics for, just manipulative means, and so to speak, that have just been deceptive. That is something that's going to be coming out to the forefront. Also, we're going to be seeing the position, like the hands of quote unquote power are going to be shifting, right? So power is not going to be in just one person's hand, in my opinion. It's going to be going from like, one entity or one organization or one group has been holding the power or the control, because it's also a Pluto buzzword, right? The control of something. And now it's going to be placed in the hands of many, right? So we see that, recently Russia and China, they have, come into like this agreement, and they're talking about, coming together and making change and however. So it's just kind of, you can see now the basis of what's to come, because like I said, from March until June, we're going to be getting a taste. It's like the appetizer before the main course. So we're going to be getting a taste of what's to come. Okay. So I hope that helps. Kind of give an idea of what's happening in the future. We have this for 20 years. All right, so now let's get into the readings for all 12 signs, okay? So as always, make sure you are listening for your sun, moon, and your rising, quote unquote, ascendant sign, okay? So like I said, always, your ascendant is your first and primary, is the most accurate reading for your sign. Your sun sign is secondary. It is the focus. It is your goals. It can reflect your career, your public image, that kind of thing. And then last but not least, it will be your moon sign. That is more subjective. It's about your internal world. It is what you're probably feeling on the inside, internally, emotionally. It also can represent your home and family life and your current living situations. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into the reading for all 12 signs. And we're going to start with Aquarius because this is moving into your first house. So this is about you. Okay. So big changes and transformations that you are going to be seeing, Aquarius, with your identity, with your looks, with how you view the world, with your character is going to be shifting and changing over this next 20 years, right? So you might be coming into a position of power, or you might be taking your power back, you know, for yourself, right? Taking it from something, or just feeling more empowered, or finding new ways to empower yourself. Okay. All right. So Aquarius, this is happening in your 12th house, okay? Not Aquarius, excuse me, Pisces. I just said Aquarius. Pisces, excuse me. This is happening in your 12th house, right? So the house of you know, the mind, the subconsciousness. So big changes and transformations that are coming, and feeling empowered with, you know, your mental health. There's going to be some transformations mental health wise, on a subconscious level when it comes to your subconscious patterns, spiritual beliefs, you know, addictions and obsessions, and then, you know, healing and creativity. These are things that are going to be transforming. You're going to be finding power within these dynamics as well. Okay, so for Aries, sun, moon, and rising, this is going to bring big changes and transformations to your 11th house, which is about your social circles and, you know, passive forms of income, you know, friendships and group affiliation. So you might even find power within, you know, social constructs or social dynamics, you know, in social movements, maybe in philanthropy, maybe in humanitarianism, or, you know, large organizations like nonprofits and things of that nature, maybe even finding power with achieving your goals. The 11th house is also about your material gain. So, you know, Pluto is that planet that brings major transformation. So it might be that you come into substantial amounts of wealth over this time as well. It could be through an inheritance, or it could be through, you know, something along the lines, or, you know, with the basis of like from friendships or some kind of, you know, work that you're doing here in the world. Okay. So for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, this energy, this Pluto in Aquarius energy is bringing big changes and transformations to your 10th house. And this is the house of your career, your public image, and your reputation. So you might be stepping into a position of authority, a position of power when it comes to your career. You might be transforming your public image. Like you might be this powerful person in whatever career or job or responsibility that you have to the world could be shifting over the next 20 years. You might be changing your career path altogether. And so, you know, stepping into this position of power, or just feeling empowered in the career or in the work that you do. Okay, so for Gemini, sun, moon, and rising, this Pluto in Aquarius energy is bringing big changes and transformations to your 9th house, which has a lot to do with foreign travels, higher education, your beliefs, philosophies, your life journey, right? It could be spiritual beliefs as well, but more so philosophical beliefs, maybe even something along the lines of like your religious beliefs and so on. And so this has a lot to do with, you know, transformation opportunities coming in that's going to have you stepping into positions of power, that's, you know, dealing with foreign trades possibly, or, you know, due to transformations happening through higher education, philosophies. Maybe you're going to be in a position of power that's going to help you be a mentor, or find a powerful mentor to help you with your life's journey. Okay. And so for Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to be bringing major changes and transformations to your 8th house. Okay, so this is the house that's about, you know, shared finances, investments, taxes, joint resources, and things of that nature, as well as debts and inheritances. So your partner might come into like a large sum of money. You might come into substantial wealth through inheritance or through family dynamics, or maybe even through the work that you do, right? So this is also other people's money. So this could be like your partner's money. Your partner could be coming into a large amount of wealth, or there could be some major transformations or changes that are happening with how you share wealth and how you merge things, right? Because the eighth house is also the house of merging and whatnot. Okay. And so for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto and Aquarius is bringing big changes and transformations to your seventh house of marriage and partnerships and how you see relationships and other commitments, right? So it could be legal things and documentation and contracts. So you might come into a position of power. You might just have a big transformation. Like you go from being single or being, just kind of dating into being completely married. And that brings in like, different, like a power dynamic, so to speak. Also, you might be signing like a contract, could be a business partnership that brings in empowerment to you as well. Okay. So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this Pluto in Aquarius is going to be bringing big changes and transformations to your sixth house, which has a lot to do with your health, injuries, coworkers, pets, and routines. And so you might be experiencing major transformations and things that come, like if you've had illnesses or any kind of injuries or anything with your health, it could be bringing in changes, like maybe a sudden reversal of something. Co-worker. So you might be in a position of power, so where like you're training others now in your work environment. There might be some issues that come along with, your pets over the next, 20 years or so, or just your routines. You can just find empowerment through your routines and just building a ritual. Okay. So for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto in Aquarius is bringing big changes and transformations to your fifth house of your creative projects, romantic relationships, children, if you're having children or seeking to have children, or if you already have children, just major transformations with them. Creative expression, right? So how you express yourself, just being more bold, more confident, just standing in your power to express yourself more so. So this is going to be bringing in those major transformations over the next 20 years when it comes to, just who it is that you are, your own authenticity. Okay. So for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto in Aquarius is bringing major changes and transformations to your fourth house, which is about your home and family, real estate, the mother or feminine influences in your life. So there may be some strong changes that are happening. Like you might come into a position of power to where you are buying real estate, or you are now selling homes, and you may come into some type of like inheritance. It might be like a piece of land that you acquire or something like that if you're looking into doing so. And then as far as like the mother or feminine influences, there may be some changes within how you relate to those, feminine influences in your life. It could be some major transformations and changes happening with your own mother, or even, the woman in your life, if that applies to you. So, changes in your home are definitely going to be happening over time. And then we have, for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto in Aquarius is going to be bringing big changes and transformations to your third house, which is the house of communications, your skills and trades, social media, and like how you go about posting and things of that nature, your daily routines, your vehicles, maybe even small business. So you could be coming into a position of power, maybe developing, maybe being transformed through any of these kind of themes that are happening, watching how you communicating with, just a different tone, or just transforming how you communicate overall. There could be some changes that happen with your siblings or with your neighbors as well. That's also third house energy, where you're going to be making like a major transformation or change when it comes to your environment. Like you might be moving over the next 20 years, or finding like your footing, right, over the next 20 years. Like you could be looking to move now or very soon, and then over the next 20 years of this transit, you're going to be kind of like getting rooted into your environment. Okay, so for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Pluto in Aquarius is bringing big changes and transformations to your second house. And this is the house of your income, your spending, your personal possessions, your finances. So there's going to be some major transformations that happens when it comes to your money. So you might come into a substantial amount of wealth. You might come into, just having to change your spending habits or your personal possessions. You might be getting rid of some things in order to get new things. Your finances could go under just like a major change over the next 20 years. Okay. So that is all that I have for the Pluto and Aquarius energy. I hope this has been beneficial and helpful. But before I let you all go, I have some really quick announcements. We have the Reiki full moon. So that is going to be for the next full moon on April 5th. You should see it floating around somewhere up here. You can find that information in the description box below. And you can go ahead and register. It is open for the full moon Reiki release event. And then we'll be, I can't speak. Then we will be having our new moon event on April the 19th. So that will be opening the registration very soon. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, please do so at the description box below, because I send out all that information. Also, with this Aquarius energy going on, you never know what they're going to be doing with Pluto and Aquarius in social media. So right now I am currently leaving Instagram and Facebook. So like I said, subscribe to my newsletter. I'm still on TikTok. I'm still on YouTube, of course, but my newsletter is where it's at. YouTube is where it's at. And for now, TikTok is where it's at for now until they say whatever's going to happen with it. But either way, make sure you are just on all of my platforms. My last day on Instagram is going to be April the 5th. Okay. So, yep, that's what I got. So I'm going out with a big bang for the full moon on April 5th. And what else do I have? I think that's it. Oh, yes. When you subscribe to my newsletter, you get our free ebook. Okay. It's an ebook that gives you all of the information, like just a cheat sheet of astrology info and insight. So that's a perk. It's like a good, I don't know, maybe 30 pages of astrology information. So do the newsletter, get your ebook. Okay. All right. That's it. I'm not going to hold y'all up any longer. So I hope y'all have a wonderful 20 years. I'll see you then. No, I'm joking. I hope y'all have a wonderful month ahead. I will see y'all at the next video for Galactic Gossip that's coming out for April. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of March, and I will see y'all soon.